Technical difficulties. Yeah, for some reason my computer was not recognizing my webcam. It kept saying it malfunctioned, so I had to literally plug it into the front of the damn computer in order to get it to work. Yeah, that was stupid. So this video is getting started like 6 minutes late, but you know, it is what it is. But yeah, that right there. But we're finally going to get started here with a Sunday edition of Burnt Rubber. I do need to update a few things. I do need to do a new channel video thingamajig, because there will be some updates and shit. But maybe a couple minutes late, but let's go ahead and get into today's video, or live stream, or whatever the fuck you want to call it. A Burnt Rubber, a pre-Daytona 500 edition. Let's do it. This video is brought to you by Reaper Apparel Company. Stay tuned until after the video to learn how you can save 10% off of your order. Hey, what's happening, ladies and germs? It's the PackerMan, and welcome to this Sunday edition of Burnt Rubber. I got a lot of stuff to talk about. Let me update this one real quick. Alright, there we go. Alright, so welcome into this edition of Burnt Rubber. Got quite a bit of stuff to talk about. Here about an hour and a half before the Daytona 500 here today, which was moved up an hour from its original start time due to weather in the area. Normally I would be working today, Sunday, because of my job as Instacart delivery guy. But it is snowing like freaking crazy out right now, so I'm not going anywhere. So there's that. But before we start today's episode, it's time to do my yearly hat swap, because I've worn this hat for more than a year at this point, and I finally got my new hat. There you go. Just so you can see what it looks like. Yeah. Should be pretty obvious why I got this. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into things. Let's go ahead and change the color of this. And let's get into the news, because we got a lot to talk about here today. Let me change this to cut, and let's do it. So, our first news topic of the day is Pitbull has decided to end his partnership with Trackhouse after 5 years. So, he released a statement on the matter. I don't know why my new computer is being so damn slow. Well, it might be because I'm still rendering shit. I've been rendering videos all morning. This one's just about done. So that's probably why. Like, come on. Hurry up. Alright, so Pitbull made a statement basically saying that he was ending his partnership with Trackhouse. So he says, ending partnership with Trackhouse Racing. Over the past 5 years, we've made history by introducing NASCAR to a whole new audience and falling in love with NASCAR fans at the same time. We have made the decision to terminate the partnership with Trackhouse Racing effective immediately. We're looking forward to performing on the sport's biggest stage this Sunday, the Daytona 500. It is a true honor, Dale. So, just asked Grok, why did Pitbull end the partnership? And he basically says, Pitbull's decision to end the partnership with Trackhouse Racing coincides with the timing of the Daytona 500, suggesting a strategic move to focus on his performance at this major event. The partnership termination might be linked to Pitbull's broader business strategies or personal commitments, considering his involvement in various ventures outside of NASCAR. So there you go. Pitbull decides to end his partnership with Trackhouse, and that's basically it. And he's going to be doing a performance before the start of the Daytona 500, so that's probably what he's focusing on now. Also, I think the camera looks a lot better this time around, because I did some digging around in OBS to try to fix the settings, and I think I finally fixed them for the most part, because I'm looking on the screen and it's a lot smoother, so that's good. So with that in mind, let's move on to the next topic at hand. So this was a pretty big deal. Justin Allgaier qualifies for the Daytona 500. Now, it's not his first time racing in the Daytona 500. However, this is a big deal because this is Junior Motorsports' Cup Series debut. And of course, they got Traveler's Whiskey on the car, which explains why he has the number 40 on it. But the emotion that was showed when that 40 car qualified for the Daytona 500, I mean, you would have thought that he won the race. And it's like, holy shit, an actual great story. You know, that doesn't have to revolve around the godforsaken playoff or whatever else. You know, this is a great story in and of itself. And the emotion that was showed from Allgaier and Dale Jr., I mean, that's a big deal. And it should be considered a big deal because this is Junior Motorsports' debut race. It's going to be their debut race because they've been mainly an Xfinity Series team for the better part of 20 years since its formation back in 2005. So, you know, this is a big deal for NASCAR and for Junior Motorsports because, I mean, it's the feel-good story of Speedweeks so far, or Speedweek as it's now known as. So this is a big deal, and hopefully he'll do well in the Daytona 500 today. And who knows, maybe even snag an upset victory. That would be something. I mean, you want to talk about a fucking storyline for the ages. And it's a much needed good storyline. Allgaier winning the 500 in Junior Motorsports' debut. Holy shit. Or Kyle Busch winning the Daytona 500 in his 20th try. Driving an RCR car. Sound familiar? It would still be a damn good story though. And also, he's also mired in the middle of a long winless streak. Kind of makes you think, doesn't it? So, with the feel-good stories out of the way, let's dive into the dark side of this week so far. Yeah. Other than the Justin Allgaier story, NASCAR Speedweek, Daytona Speedweek so far, has been embarrassing, to say the least. I mean, you go back to the duels on Thursday, and the production value that Fox puts into these NASCAR broadcasts, I mean, it's pretty well known that it's just an embarrassment. The TV booth, I mean, there's just no chemistry between Clint Boyer, Kevin Harvick, and Mike Joy. There's just no chemistry. And of course, the controversies that have come out before we've even gotten to the Daytona 500, by the way. Like, for instance, well, first off, as the picture that I just showed, the cameraman, you know how they do the walk around the car on the front stretch after victory? Well, the cameraman fell down. We thought he dropped the camera, but as it turned out, the cameraman actually tripped and fell. And there are pictures circulating online, including that one showing, yeah, he kind of fell on his ass. Which, admittedly, that was a funny moment. I'm sure it was embarrassing for him, but, I mean, that was more of a funny moment than anything else. What was not funny, however, was them throwing the caution flag when they were literally feet from the finish line in duel number 2. And when you look at it from the basis of the start-finish line, Eric Jones clearly won the race, but they gave it to Austin Cindric because apparently at the moment of caution, which apparently isn't even the yellow lights, it's the moment they hit the button. And if that's the case, then why even show it on camera to begin with? I mean, and then the fact that the booth tried to explain why, you know, the caution was thrown. Well, they throw the caution there because they don't want cars, you know, trying to plow through the wreck. Harvick, are you a fucking idiot? They're going to try to plow through the wreck regardless. Because when it's the white flag lap, drivers are going to keep their foot on the gas regardless of whether the caution is thrown or not. So what fucking difference does it make? I mean, the absolute fucking mental gymnastics that these NASCAR dick suckers go through to try to justify NASCAR's dumbass officiating, it's just mind-boggling to me. I mean, it's absolute bullshit. It really is. And that was just the first controversy. And I know some people are going to be like, well, it's just the duels. It's just an exhibition race. That's beside the point. The fact of the matter is, it's still for points. Believe it or not. Because the top 10 finishers still get points. It's the equivalent to what you get in a stage. 10 for first, 10th for, or 1 for 10th. So this notion of, well, it's just an exhibition race, bullshit. They still get points for it. So I don't even want to fucking hear it. A bullshit call is a bullshit call. And then they had back-to-back races where the guy in second actually ended up the winner. In the truck race, Parker Kligerman crossed the line to win the Daytona truck race in another crash fest of a race, but was disqualified when the ride heights were found to be too low, apparently on both sides of the car, or on the truck in this case. So that means that Corey Heim was declared the winner of the race as a result. However, Parker Kligerman's truck team is actually going to appeal the disqualification. So we'll have to wait and see what happens on that. And then the Xfinity race was another race that ended under caution. The ARCA race was a smash fest, although it ended with Brendan Butterbean McQueen ending up with his first ARCA victory, I think, on debut, which is insanity. And he is the reigning Cars Tour late model champion. So, I mean, right off the bat, he's in victory lane in ARCA. I mean, you want to talk about a future prospect for NASCAR, that's Butterbean McQueen. Or Butterbean Queen, not McQueen. Not Lightning McQueen. But imagine the marketing that you could do for him with a nickname like that. But yeah, so far NASCAR's Speed Weeks has been pretty embarrassing. And based on past history, the Daytona 500, I mean, the last 5 Daytona 500s have ended with some kind of big wreck. And I don't see that changing this year. I hope it does, because I don't want to see, the 500 in another bullshit wreck with more bullshit controversy. I don't want to see it. But speaking of which, let's head into the big topic of this little news junket. They did this literally an hour before Daytona 500 qualifying. NASCAR files, not NASCAR, Jesus. There we go. NASCAR files injunction appeal brief. Basically, they had a long list of shit that they talked about, saying how, this injunction is unjust and all this other shit. So let's go ahead and get into this, because this was on the 12th, which of course was, like I said, 1 hour before Daytona 500 qualifying. Due today, NASCAR has filed his appeal brief in the appeal to the injunction ruling that 2311 and Front Row be allowed to race as third teams and continue to pursue the lawsuit. The district court's injunction orders flout federal antitrust law, misapply the established rules governing the use of preliminary injunctions, ignore rebutted legally significant evidence, and have sweeping implications for NASCAR's 2025 Cup Series season. These injunctions misuse the judicial power to force NASCAR to treat its litigation adversaries as its business partners and confidants, undermining the mutual trust that has fueled NASCAR's growth and success. At this point, NASCAR would prefer to extend the perks of the 2025 charters to owners committed to enhancing NASCAR's competitiveness with other sports for fans, sponsors, and media dollars, rather than owners that undermined NASCAR's brand. Yeah. I mean, that just sounds to me like they would rather just get rid of the charters altogether. Team owners can receive approximately 50% of NASCAR's media revenues attributed to the Cup Series under the 2025 charter, a substantial increase from what they received in 2016, which itself increased from prior years. And then it says in its brief to the U.S. Court of Appeals, it says that it has consistently faced competition from series like F1 and IndyCar for fan attention, talent, and sponsors, citing that as being contrary to the allegation that it is a monopoly. Brah, your car is the only car your car is unique. And trying to compare open wheel racing to NASCAR racing is like comparing apples to oranges. And in this sense that they would rather extend the perks of the 2025 charter to owners committed rather than owners that undermine NASCAR's brand. NASCAR, you've been undermining your own brand for the better part of a decade at this point with this stupid-ass playoff system and this inability to hold accountability of yourself. I mean, all you have to do is look back to the State of the Sport address. They just refused to take accountability for anything. The stupidness of the playoff system, the multiple controversies that happened throughout last year, and the dumbass officiating. And you heard it from Steve O'Donnell. He said, we don't believe we have an officiating problem. Oh, really? Then why do we have back-to-back controversies before we've even gotten to the fucking Daytona 500? This leadership is absolutely fucking brain dead, and it's one of the many reasons why I've stopped doing race reviews of this fucking company. I mean, because what's the fucking point? I mean, I might continue to watch, but I'm not going to do NASCAR race reviews until shit changes with this fucking company. And honestly, I don't see shit changing with this company until the France family is completely gone from this company. Meaning that they've completely sold to a new entity. I don't see any positive change happening until that happens. Now, of course, the news that broke not too long ago about them possibly selling part of their company, like selling shares in their company, is, you know, I mean, that's a start, but, you know, I'll believe it when I see it. And then, of course, you had them saying, well, you know, we have, you know, possible new manufacturers coming in the near future. Yeah, how many times have we heard that in the past 10 years? And nothing has ever come of it. I mean, like I said, remember the boy that cried wolf. I mean, I can smell their bullshit from a mile away. And honestly, this brief, I mean, it sounds more like them bitching and whining and moaning than anything else. I don't see this appeal succeeding. I don't. But even then, it sounds like NASCAR wants to take it all the way to trial court with these teams. And, I mean, you want to take that chance, you go right ahead. Because, like I said, once it gets to the discovery stage, the books are going to be opened. All your financials are going to be exposed. And is that what you really want? You really want your business to be exposed for what it is? Like, they're just not fucking thinking. And it honestly makes me believe that maybe we need a new sanctioning body, because the NASCAR that I knew and loved died a long time ago. All I see is a corrupt family in its place. And it sucks, because this sport can be so much better than what it is. The only thing holding stock car racing back is its biggest sanctioning body. How about that? Now, this is where the episode would have ended, but this news literally broke like 5 minutes before I started the live stream. Yeah, you heard that correctly. Dodge possibly returning to the Truck Series in 2026. This news literally broke minutes before I started the live stream. This is on catchfence.com, and it was posted by Chris Knight on X. Former manufacturer expected to return to the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series in 2026. While the 2025 NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series season kicked off with Friday night's Fresh from Florida 250, preparations for expansion in the following season are already in motion. Catchfence.com has confirmed that NASCAR has received a formal submission from a manufacturer aiming to join Chevrolet, Ford, and Toyota in the series next year. According to sources, Dodge is the leading candidate to return to the sport, marking a comeback after its 2016 departure with the Ram brand. The manufacturer had withdrawn official support after the 2013 season. Dodge previously captured the manufacturer's championship in the Truck Series 3 times, in 2001, 2003, and 2004, while the late Bobby Hamilton Sr. secured the 2004 Truck Series Drivers' Championship. Dodge's re-entry into the series is expected to be more streamlined than its previous tenure. The introduction of the Ilmor spec engine in 2018 has standardized power plants across the series, reducing costs for team owners and easing manufacturer integration. Speculation continues throughout the garage, including this weekend at Daytona, that NASCAR is exploring additional cost-cutting measures, which could include a comprehensive redesign of the Truck Series bodies. So, Dodge, looking to return to the Truck Series. This does not mean a return to Xfinity or Cup. So like I said, the fourth manufacturer is still a pipe dream as far as the Cup Series is concerned. But trucks, yeah, Dodge, I think would like a return to the Truck Series because that's more in line with their brand, with the Dodge Ram and everything else. So I could honestly see a return to the Truck Series being the perfect spot for Dodge for the time being. Now, would they want to return to the Cup Series? I don't know. That's up in the air at this point. But, I mean, as far as the Truck Series is concerned, getting a fourth manufacturer, I mean, that would be great for them. So, we'll have to wait and see how this unfolds. And it's not something that we're going to expect until 2026 anyway, so it's a developing story. So, we'll have to keep an eye on it as it unfolds. But that's going to do it for today's pre-Daytona 500 edition of Burnt Rubber. And it looks like the camera is performing much better. I know the previous episode, it looked like a fucking PowerPoint display at times. But I went into OBS and changed some things, and it looks like it's worked. So, there we go. Yay! New computer teething problems. It's always a great thing to try to iron out. But anyway, that's going to do it for today's edition of Burnt Rubber. The Daytona 500 is slated to come on in about an hour, which is an hour earlier than originally scheduled because of weather. Apparently, the forecast is cloudy and windy, and then they're supposed to get a shit ton of rain, and then after that, it's supposed to clear up. So we'll probably get a little bit of racing in, then have to wait for a little bit, and then get the rest of the race in the evening, which seems to be the theme the last couple of years. So, yeah, it is what it is, but, you know, it is what it is. Yes, I just repeated myself. Anyways, thank you very much for watching this edition of Burnt Rubber. And until next time, this is the PackerMan signing out. See you later. Hey, what's happening, ladies and germs? This is the PackerMan letting you know that tonight's video was sponsored by Reaper Apparel Company. By clicking on the affiliate link down below in the description box, you'll be able to browse through many of their different wares, such as hats, t-shirts, hoodies, and other cool items. When you place an order and you go to checkout, be sure to type in the code PackerMan and you'll be able to save 10% off of your order. Reaper Apparel Company. Apparel to die for. Hey, ladies and germs, just want to say thank you for watching tonight's video. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and also check out my other channels, Isaac the Survivalist and Our Honor Defend Archives, if you're a Buckeye fan. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again next time.